Here we go. Watch me flex my flow. You'll be the next to know. Spit it hot flambeau. Swing them bars like whoa. Grab the remote control. Must have called a million times. I'm on the other side. Hello. Better watch that stream. Caught up in the track to beat. Scrub that beat with bleach. So when I hit it, bro, I spit it clean. Burn it now. Have to turn the furnace down. Y'all don't want this beef. I hit them with a holy cow. Hit them with the verse. Got them thinking, wow. This ain't a game, kid. Why you play around? This that ill spit. Them bars are so sick. I'll shock the whole world. Anaphylactic. Every single time I spit another rhyme. The planet's all alive, so bright I blind them with my shine. Bro, I'm designed to make your confidence decline. Every line about to blow like stepping on a landmine. Here we go. Here we go.
Hello and welcome to a special episode. I have one of the best guys in the RC game right now. What he did for these kids will absolutely blow you away. I know you guys have heard me talking about it on previous shows, hyping it up a little bit. We did a whole bunch of reels. We did a whole bunch of interviews, and we had a whole bunch of fun. Now, what might you be asking that we're talking about? Well, it was the RC Showdown 2024. And who better to talk about it than the man behind the scenes? I'm going to bring him on board. Please help me welcome Derrick Prior. Derrick, welcome to the show, bud.
Hey, Adam, how you doing?
Man, fantastic. So let's just get right down to it, man. What is the RC Showdown 2024?
Well, our RC Showdown 2024 is the kind of the grand finale to a program that we run throughout the year, bringing RC cars to the high school kids in Thames Valley.
And what a show. Like, he was nice enough to invite me. I showed up. I wasn't even sure what to expect. They took over a whole wood shop in the Fanshawe College, completely built a killer track for these kids to have their showdown for the end of the season. And I know we were talking off the air about how many tires you guys went through, so that we'll have to touch on for sure. But I gotta say, Derrick, seeing the kids working together as a team, troubleshooting, building their stuff, getting the track ready too, like all these things, there's so many elements that I don't think people are aware of that make the show so special. So if you could just touch on how you got it started. I believe what is year 3 now?
Yeah, we're year 3, connected in with our SHSM group, our Specialist High Skills Major.
Nice.
But for those that don't know much about me, I'm a high school auto teacher. And I've been running off and on RC programs with the kids at school for probably about 10 years now.
Nice.
Did some slash stuff and different things like that. I was always looking for an avenue to help promote the learning of the skills that we do in the auto shop, right? All that stuff. And a bunch of this stuff that we can't do on live cars because we just don't have that kind of time and those kind of cars kicking around. We can still talk those same concepts here. Right. And then when SHSM joined us and started helping out and we started doing more stuff, spreading it around Thames Valley, then it became more about connecting the kids with just those transferable skills, those skills that it doesn't matter where we're going in post-secondary or beyond, that problem solving and the thinking and the hands-on and the right. We've got
under pressure too, because like they
under pressure, right? These kids are working under pressure. They're meeting other kids of similar interests and similar minds, and we're bringing them all together to do all sorts of crazy stuff for SHSM credentials, right? They're Specialist High Skills Major credentials. So they're getting like, I'm working with all sorts of groups now. It's not just our transportation auto shop kids that I'm working with. We've got construction groups that are helping build the track and build that deck that we were standing on. I mean, that was awesome.
Awesome.
They came from a high school to Fanshawe College and get taught by Fanshaw's instructors on deck building techniques and how to frame a deck and floor joists, all. And I mean, it's got nothing to do with the racing, but without it, we can't race. So
right, no, the infrastructure
it's
that
totally
you guys
awesome.
built was, oh man. So I'm gonna throw a little perspective in there. When I showed up, I wasn't sure what to expect. I knew they were racing 2-wheel drive buggies, which I suck at driving, so I was kind of already like, okay. And then I wasn't even sure what the track was going to be made out of. I wasn't sure if it was going to be full carpet, and the mixture was good because you guys had it in the turns and right before some of the jumps, so they had the traction where they needed. But man, was it so cool. When I walked into this facility, the wow factor was what threw it over the top, because man, these kids came to rumble and it was amazing to see. So I got to tip my hat off to you, because pulling something like that together. Now, this season, I think there was 10 schools total that participated, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We had 10 schools in total. Each school's got 2 vehicles at least.
Nice.
Right. Couple of the schools are getting more vehicles. My school in particular has a bunch of vehicles because, of course, I do it all year round. Right. This was our first event inside, so this was our first time working with Fanshawe, our first time putting a track together indoors. Last year we ran at my home school in St. Thomas. The school board let me build a dirt track outside, which was really awesome. So we brought the greenhouse, the horticulture kids in, and sod cutter, and we cut a track right into the backfield. Awesome. Yeah, those same ramps that we used this year in the indoor, we used outside, right? So that I don't have to leave anything built, right? We can take the track down and put it up whenever we see fit. So it's pretty awesome. Again, a whole nother group of kids, right? All those ramps were built by our welding crew. Right, a bunch of high school kids taking welding classes, designed and built those ramps off of some pictures from indoor tracks. So it's been pretty amazing. It's been I'm not gonna lie, it's been amazing. It's been awesome.
Yeah. So we're gonna play a little clip with Laura, and she's the one that was your hookup with the SHSM, right?
Yeah. Laura's our specialist high skills major lead. So she takes care of all of our specialist high skills major groups throughout Thames Valley, all of our school grades and everything, all of us.
Yeah, and I'm gonna play this clip, and then we're gonna talk about what she says and how she ties in how many different groups of kids actually made this show possible. So let's pull up her on board here. Here we go. All right, so we are here at the 2024 RC Showdown, and we have one of the representatives here, and you want to just tell them and explain what you do?
Sure. I'm so excited to be at the event today. So my name is Laura Bristow. I'm the Specialist High Skills Major Coordinator for Thames Valley District Board. So SHSM, and my job is connecting students in grade 11 and 12 with real-world industry experiences. So this event today has transportation SHSM. These are students that are choosing to go into that industry sector.
Nice.
The track was built by construction SHSM.
Looks amazing.
So we had construction students come out to the college. They were getting a certification. So when you're in this program, it's free, funded by the ministry, and you're getting real-world certification. So students in construction help build the track alongside their mentors. Manufacturing SHSM help make the ramp.
Gotcha.
And then we have students that are now in transportation that love working with cars who built their cars.
That's not part of the hobby is what I'm definitely into.
Yeah.
But all the elements that came together is available at multiple different schools and at multiple different levels. If I'm not mistaken, correct?
You are correct. So Ontario has 2 diplomas. Ontario Secondary School Diploma and your SHSM Specialization Diploma.
Nice.
So there's one of me in every school board across Ontario. So in Thames Valley, we have SHSM at every single high school.
Nice.
So it doesn't matter what school they go to, a student can say, I want to be part of this program. And then they get pulled out of classes to do these cool experiences.
Yeah.
So big champion of SHSM.
Absolutely. Now, if a parent wants to get their student signed up for something like this, what do they have to do in order to get them involved in something like this?
So in Thames Valley, they would join our, they can check it out on our website.
Okay.
So we have a website, thamesvalley.ca/SHSM.
Yep.
Students can talk to their guidance counselor. So all guidance counselors know about this.
Okay.
But when you look at all the different sectors that are offered at FHSM,
Yes.
there's 19 different ones in the province.
Right.
So these are all run by champion teachers. So teachers that are passionate about this trade or industry or sector. So the students can talk to their guidance counselor or their SHSM lead teacher in the building.
Okay.
On our website, you can search the sector and the teacher's name is there.
Nice.
So each board might set it up in different ways, but they could reach out to an SHSM coordinator or guidance counselor.
Sounds good. Obviously, Derrick Prior is the one that set this all up, and he is a teacher at one of the schools that is competing. We won't mention that because we don't want to put any pressure on that particular school, but Derrick has been a part of this for the last 3 years that I know of, and to see this grow, I think that the hobby and the industry is going to get behind it. Now, is there anything that you would like to add based on what you see now? I've seen all the banners, all the cool stuff going on, and this is only the second year that you guys have been involved, correct?
That's correct. So part of the role that I've been in, experiential learning, so engaging students through experiences. I met Derrick, and he was doing this in the community. Super passionate. And then he was able to get an experiential grant to help him get started. And then we said this could be more sustainable if we partnered it with SHSM and shared this broader with all of the people that have a common interest.
Right.
So we started by working through experiential learning grant to help build a track at school.
Nice.
Then by reaching out to the transportation sector, it allowed people to kind of bring it to the next level because we understand if you build it, they will come.
It's
The
so
more
true.
awareness and collaboration that can happen, the faster that this is growing. Derrick is definitely a visionary teacher. So he is somebody that had this idea, was doing it anyway, and just needed the opportunity to let loose and the funding and support to be able to build these connections. So he has definitely been a champion leader in making all of this happen.
And the passion that he brings to this is next level. And you know what? It's awesome to see. And the support that you can just see in the building and the whole vibe has been fantastic. But I appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your day for us. And we'll make sure that we post on all our social medias. And if you want, we will definitely post a link for your link, your stuff as well. So it's tdesb.ca/SHSM. So
all right, that's enough of me there. But man, she was super awesome to talk to. It was a good chat for sure. And now, what I was wondering, she's been involved for the last 2 years. She helps you run it in your school. Is that how it works? I'm like, how should she tie into that?
Yeah. So when I was running this program before, we just kind of put it together. A fellow colleague of mine and I kind of found a little bit of funding enough to get a couple of cars going. So I was doing some cool stuff, and I had got some cool stuff. I wanted to get my kids building more than just the driving, right? As much as the driving's awesome, I wanted my guys to build because I wanted that transportation side of things. I wanted them to build a kit. So I got a couple of techno kits. I got my hands on a couple of techno kits. And we're building a couple of short courses. And Laura just happened to be there for another meeting of some sort or another on one of my club days, because I was running club days twice a week at school. We would just hang out after school, 10, 12 kids. Sometimes I get 20 kids. Right, we would just do the building and do this stuff as we could, right? So she happened to be in the building. I said, Laura, I said, you're super energetic. You're all about all this experiential learning stuff. You got to come and see what I'm doing with these kids, right? Like,
right.
I've been trying to get this off the ground for a while. You got to come and see this stuff. So we dragged her into club day, and she got to watch these kids, team of 4 or 5 kids, however many it was at that time, building a techno truck from the base.
And the parts.
Yeah, right. She's just like, this is absolutely awesome. We've got to do more of this. So that's kind of where it took off from there. I mean, I got it to a certain plateau kind of all by myself, fish.
Yeah.
Right. Couple of us kind of got it to a spot. But I just could never kind of get past that next step. And without SHSM and Laura jumping on board, and seeing the potential. And it's just, I mean, like I said, it turned into a whole nother vehicle, pardon the pun, to kind of take kids into a whole new avenue and make connections with them. And I mean, these guys get to see the instructors at Fanshawe. They get to hear about the courses and the programs they're running. Snap-on's been to both of our events to come out and kind of say hi and do their thing. And right, it's just that and meeting each other, I mean, I don't know if you were able to get backstage, so to speak, but back behind the wall there where the kids were all pitting, they're all like hanging out with each other, and we got teams meeting at certain tables and getting together and doing all sorts of sharing parts and whatever. So it's
it was so cool to see. And one team, I don't remember what team it was, thought that their one buggy was going to be done because they had a problem with their ESC
stuff.
I was just lucky that I had some demo vehicles there. I ripped all the electronics out, threw it in there just so they could finish for the week.
Right, which is awesome, right? It's awesome.
Yeah, it's the least I could do because like seeing the look on their face, and I told them like this is gonna be way faster than what you're used to.
Right.
So just be careful.
Right.
But it was fun. They hooked it all up, they put it all in, and they got it going. And couldn't be more happier with the results because that was kind of like the team I was rooting for
right
now because obviously they got my stuff. But just seeing how they did it under pressure, they didn't, they stepped up. They took all the stuff out that was defective, put in the new stuff, and then still got it running and finished. That's the important part. And you're right. Seeing all that stuff was super cool. But before we get off the Laura topic, what is the way the system works? Because she said something about them getting credits. Now, I'm not sure like what that even means. Does that mean they get like one credit for like the semester, or like how's that work?
So the Specialist High Skills Major program kind of goes on top of our Ontario Secondary School Diploma. So it's an extra program.
Okay.
Back in our day, they might have called it extra credit, whatever. But it's an extra program designed to get kids real life learning experiences, get them certificates more so than credits, right? Okay. So we do a package of things depending on the program you're in, right? Yeah, whether it be hospitality or arts and culture or automotive or whatever. Right. We blend regular high school credits and then real life certificates. So some of our guys get working at heights training. Everybody gets a CPR first aid training. Everybody gets WMIS trained. Everybody gets, right? So then on top of that, if it's automotive, then some of my guys might get some vehicle lift training, whatever. We can do some scan tool stuff with Snap-on, different stuff like that, right? Manufacturing gets fall arrest, working at heights, all sorts of different, right? We've done certifications for forklift driving and propane handling. So it's all, I call it resume building. We're helping 100%. These kids build resumes for themselves, right? All with 1 or 2 or 3 year certificates, right? Like it's a true to life first aid certificate that they come out with. So it's a 2 year, right? They get it for free. The ministry, the SHSM program's paying for it all. So, and then on top of that, we get to do cool events like this where they learn team building and problem solving and all that good stuff. And big field trips. We do Toronto Car Show for us auto guys, or we'll do local, we do the local press strand tours or whatever for our manufacturing kids and stuff like that. So just connecting people with students, with community, and trying to, like I said, trying to build resumes, right? Trying to build resumes for these kids.
Well, okay, so obviously, I work in a factory environment, so sure. I see a lot of like kids coming in, and the skills that you just mentioned are a lot of the skills that we look for even in our manufacturing. So you guys are doing a phenomenal job at like catering it to what real world things they'll need to set themselves to be successful in the future. So that is super cool. And now this was year number 1 of you guys having it at Fanshawe, if I'm not mistaken, correct? So we have Steve queued up here. So I'm going to pull up his video real quick. And Steve is the head of Fanshawe. and he was just giving his take on how cool this little event was and how he just likes seeing the whole community. And so let me pull him on here and let it go. Make sure I got the sound good.
Because we're going to put it on the live podcast for next weekend. You know, send everybody the link and all that stuff. So are you live? Oh, okay. Well, hopefully you're recording.
Yeah. All right, I get that.
So obviously we're here at Banshaw College in London, and we have Steve, the head of the school, and we just got to thank him for being able to have everybody here in this facility. What facility are we in right now?
So right now we're at Banshaw College in the C building, which is our major construction lab. Part of the Faculty of Science, Trades, and Technology, which I'm fortunate to be the dean of. And we are super excited to have really enthusiastic people in the community, in the school boards here. This is their home, trust me.
And obviously, you can see by the excitement of all the people here, they have world-class facilities. They have some of the best technologies, and look at all the skilled trade stuff that they have to offer. I believe you're saying over
280 programs here of all different natures, all different sectors. And you're absolutely right, Adam. Like the best part about whatever we might have is that the doors are open to use them, because we are a community college at heart. So we always are super happy to work with folks like Adam or any associations to host that community. It's our super pleasure.
Yeah, and honestly, if you've seen the amount of schools that signed up for this little project, they're racing scale cars that they put their heart and souls into. Not only are they designing custom cars, they're using cutting-edge technology to do that. Seeing them race it out on the track to see who's going to be the track champion, I believe it is the RC Showdown 2024, and the action is just heating up. They're doing qualifying right now. We're going to see where it all pans out, but having folks like yourself, allowing them to come into this facility and use it to the max is what makes it exciting, and we appreciate it, and help them grow. Yeah, it's always awesome. Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, I just want to say thanks very much. We're really glad to have it. When people are here excited, this is our passion too. So trust me. So thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you. All right, man. Because we're gonna put it on the live podcast.
All right, there we go. But man, what a nice gentleman! To let you guys go in there and actually build the track, put it on. Do and the kids learned how to do all that stuff too, which blew me away because at first I didn't even know that. So for those of you who haven't seen it, I got this. I'm gonna pull it up here just so you guys can kind of see. So this right here is looking from the driver's stand out, and this is the facility that they built. So right here, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but this is where the scoring loop was. They had to install. These right here are the metal ramps. They had double in the back section, which if they nailed it right, it was awesome to see.
It's pretty awesome one. It was sick.
Yeah. And then this right here was the toughest one because everybody wanted to jump deep into that turn. And I seen a couple hitting that board in the back, but you can see a couple of different colors in the background and stuff like that. And oh my gosh, what an awesome facility to have. I can't even say anything else about it. You impressed me with your tech tip. You called all of them out and said, look, guys, like it's not the conditions you were expecting. It's not the dirt. It's not this. This is what you need to do to get your stuff right. And you could tell a couple teams listened and went and applied it. So that's like
awesome. It's awesome to watch them get better throughout the day. It was the same thing when we were outdoors. It's funny for me because those that have raced with me know that I can probably speak it better than I can actually go and do it. But it's it's fantastic. It's nothing makes you a better driver than teaching other people how to drive. It's fantastic to do. And there was somebody did a head count. I think maybe Laura did, but there was 109 kids there for that event, and that didn't include our build team. The build team didn't show up on race day. They were there for a day and a half before race day, putting that track together. So there was another 20 or 25 kids that were involved in that build. 20 kids, I think, were involved in the build, which was awesome.
Oh yeah, and to see them all cheering each other on and stuff like
Right.
that too, like like honestly, they all wanted to win, and they were there for a purpose, because you could tell like the edginess was there, but they were still awesome to each other. And I think what was over the top cool was they actually found other kids that had similar interests.
Right.
Even Michaela, my daughter, was like, "This is crazy!" Like they're all geeking out over stuff that I enjoy every day, and being at a smaller school like she's at, we can't wait to talk to their guidance counselor, and they're on board to try and do something, and then hopefully we'll have a friend's school in the mix for next season.
Right.
Yeah, buddy.
It's cool for the hobby, for people that are in the hobby, to see that other people enjoy the same stuff in the hobby. There's a couple of kids that were racing that have their own vehicles that run around, not necessarily organized racing, but they do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And to have them enjoy doing that with a whole nother group of kids that have never done it before was awesome. Right. Yeah. And yeah, like, I don't know if you've ever met Trevor at the barnyard.
I'm probably, I
Trevor
think so.
Thornton.
Okay.
He was one of my very first guys when I was teaching at his particular school. He was in my club one year that we went to Otterville and raced at Otterville with a group of kids. And he's still racing now. I raced against him today. He's dialed today. He was super fast. And it's just awesome to see them still doing it, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. Because like honestly, it was so super cool. I gotta show some people my favorite part here. I got two little quick clips that I just want to pull up here again. As soon as it loads up here. It's this is so super cool. So this right here is a t-shirt launcher that the students at Fanshawe have made. Now,
right. Isn't that thing cool?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So here, we're going to go to, let me remove it real quick. Let's see this puppy in action. And the kids are going bonkers trying to catch this stuff. It was so cool. Let me bring this up here. All right, so let's get some volume, though, because this thing, when it launches, let's see here. Fire in the hole. So all those canisters are filled with t-shirts, getting ready to fire. Boom. And like I was trying to show how far this thing was actually traveling, because like the engineering and the funness that went into building that RC car, oh man. But
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that just goes to show that there is passionate kids that are still coming up through the ranks. That's what actually blew me away the most, because honestly, I wasn't sure if there was that much interest, but seeing what you've done with the kids, seeing what other schools have done with the kids, seeing how, like you said, the head count was what, 80 or 90 or something like that, you're saying?
I believe we were 108 or something.
Okay, yeah, so just over 100, like all with similar interests, which blew me away. And I was like, oh my God, rejuvenated me for the hobby, made me like, oh man, this is like awesome. And I still feel like there's hope now for new blood to keep coming in. And I know my kids want to see more kids racing, obviously. And it's just so cool to see. What is the plans for 2025? Like, can we hint at anything yet, or is it still in the works, too early, or?
It's still kind of in the works, and it's going to kind of depend on budgets and all that kind of stuff. Okay. But I've talked with Fanshawe again already, going in for cleanup and picking up my gear and whatnot. They're super excited. They want to do another race for sure. They're talking about we're going to nail down some dates probably next week. We'd like to do. I myself, of course, would love to see as many races as we can fit into a school year. But that being said, we'll probably shoot. I did 2 races this year, so we'll probably shoot for 3 next year.
Okay.
Right. I'd love to have another one at Fanshawe and then do another one outside again. Right. Will depend. We'll see where it goes. I want to focus on getting our group more connected and more things happening. We've got manufacturing groups in with us now. I don't know if you've seen some of the 3D printed wings and whatnot that these guys were running on these cars, front wings and rear wings both. They had 3D printed some wings up that worked awesome. I mean, they looked fantastic and worked great.
Only one failure that I saw. Yeah.
Right. I wouldn't let them run them, but a couple of the kids 3D printed some wheels.
Super cool. Yeah, they showed me
with different stuff on them. Right.
Yeah.
The one crew thought we were going to be running on full carpet, so he 3D printed a wheel that could hold Velcro on it like a tire. It was amazing and
so innovative.
And there was 2 of them. They completely went nuts describing the process and how they had built 2 previous sets of wheels. One wouldn't hold the Velcro, and the other one they ripped once they got the Velcro to stay, they ripped the center hub right out of it because it had so much traction. And then they had to go back and revamp and reprint. And that again is just the kind of stuff that you want to see, whether they're into the RC stuff or they end up in industry or whatever, like that's the kind of thinking that you want to see out of these kids. Right. And it's awesome. It's awesome to watch.
That's critical thinking, because like for you to take a tire that has so much grip that you rip out the center hub, go back, 3D print something stronger, you're working out major issues that you don't even realize like how cool that is. No,
right?
Yeah, in a workplace setting, that is what true leaders look for. And they're going to be super successful in whatever they continue with. And the skill sets that they're learning, obviously driving super fun. Like, let's not knock that. But it's the process that you're helping them learn along the way that's going to benefit them infinitely more than just the fun at racing. But it's fun racing, but it's so super cool to definitely have that.
So to go back to next year, go moving forward. Hopefully 3 races, 1 on complete carpet if I can nail down some carpet, 1 outside, right? Because we still got the school or the track at my school. With more manufacturing students kind of involved, hopefully we can get some coding certifications and stuff. They can start maybe making some awards for us. So we got some decent awards to hand out, right? That type of thing. And just get more of those sections kind of involved.
Well, hospitality, you said too, right?
Yeah.
So now, does that mean you guys have like full-on chefs and people that can prepare like a whole like meal for everybody and have like kind of like a catered?
Some of the schools do. Yeah, some of the schools do. Yeah. So and then whatever. If future years, I would love to see it spread out, like you were saying with your kids and whatnot, and have it spread out to different. I know John's son said the same thing, right? Why the hell don't we do that in our board? And they're right next door to my board. So, right, just to kind of spread out and get a big showdown where we have schools come, right?
Well, it's thanks to Laura that I actually reached out to Michaela's school, and I'm going to go in and talk to the guidance counselor, and then I might need your help a little bit still.
For sure.
And we'll 100%. Get the ball rolling. And I would love for them to even get 2 kits and then like just start building upon that. And obviously I'm going to sponsor them and try and get in the S-Works brand as well. But I just want to promote what you're doing, because getting the ball rolling is the biggest thing. Like once you start it, I think momentum will even build around here locally too, because they won't be the only school, because as soon as they hear about it, it's all about that first thing, right? You get your foot wet, you tip your toe in, and then hopefully it'll grow from there. And you've been helping this grow tremendously. I know you said you've been working at it for 10 strong years, which is phenomenal. The kids that have been blessed to be under you obviously have just benefited largely from your passion and your ability to make things fun for them, because I know how you are in the class. You talk a good talk, and your hype is amazing, and it's kind of contagious, because like, you love what you're talking about, and to be able to share it with the kids and seeing the look on their face. And the cool thing is about our hobby, we can actually bring it to class and like, okay, thump, here it is. Like, this is the actual thing. And you built the short courses. This year you built the 2-wheel drive buggies, and now they're able to see, okay, yeah, if I adjust the camber or the caster, this
Exactly.
words they probably would have never even heard of unless it was for you teaching them that stuff. And the craziest stuff is that translates into bigger race cars and our personal vehicles, and just so much like skill sets that they're gonna just go on to be way more successful in life, because they actually touched, felt, worked on, thought, which is huge these days now, because like, you see the scroll of doom, right? And like kids just get addicted to their phones, and you're pulling them away from that and actually introducing them to a whole new thing, which, man, I can't give you enough props. I appreciate you inviting me to see it, because
I loved having you. I loved having you. It was awesome.
It was a great experience. Braden did an amazing job running the whole show. He brought the transponder, I believe, and he got it all set up, or how did that work?
Yeah, so that transponder system works with their live time. Nice. So both Ryan and Braden have been absolutely fantastic through this process. We've raced at the barnyard before, which was awesome, and that's when I introduced them to this whole thing. And then Braden came out and ran race directed my race for me last year, and did it again this year. Right? They offer up their live time for me. When I ran, I gave threw my hat in the ring and tried race directing for a change, and race announcing. And that's I don't know, it's not really, I don't enjoy a microphone, but so they've been a huge help. Those guys, MRG Racing Canada has been a humongous help. Dennis at RC Garage Canada, he's been a tremendous help. Team Associated loves it. They stepped up. That's what kind of started a lot of the takeoff and why I went with that particular model. I was playing with some 14 scale stuff, their 14 scale stuff, and their area rep suggested, hey, you should really try 10 scale buggy. I'm like, yeah, I'm like you, right? I don't drive a 2-wheel drive buggy all that well. Like, well, yeah, but they're like super hard. I want something the kids are going to enjoy. Keep it toned down, try. So they stepped up to the plate and sent me, in my order of 14 scales, sent me 2 ready to run RB10s. Awesome. Just free of charge, FOC. Here you go, try this out. The kids loved running 10 scale. And it works both inside and outside. So it fits the program well. It fits our time frame at school well, because everybody knows that the weather while you're at school is never fantastic. Right. So it opens up that option to run inside, outside. Right. I went with the gear diff option on all the cars.
Less maintenance, right? 1
for simple maintenance, and 2 because I'm an auto guy. So
you got to show.
I wanted to teach differentials. I didn't want to teach thrust balls, right? I wanted to teach differentials. So they got to see differentials in action. They got to do the fluid tuning and watch the car change. It's amazing when they hit on something and they go, whoa, what the heck did I just do there? Right. So, and then it just makes the hobby more enjoyable, right? Super easy, 13.5 hobby wing, right? Nice and simple, power plant, nothing too crazy, right? Nice and drivable. And then tires galore.
So speaking of tires, I'm happy
you brought up go through tires like crazy.
I don't even. Did it take you a month to glue up as many tires as you had to hand out that day, or what? Because like it was.
I glued them up in like 2 days. It was crazy. So that's what's that. That's 10 schools, 2 cars. That's 20 sets of rear tires for that event, right? Monty did last year. Monty did an absolutely fantastic job gluing up. What did we have then? 18. So 16 sets of rear and 16 sets of front for me, right? So that's right. And then these kids, they're kids. They love racing around, but If the weather's kind of crappy, then they're racing on the parking lot because we're not out playing in the mud. But they don't always pay attention to which tires they're picking. So they're picking our race tires and they're ripping up and down the parking lot and just eating them, right? So
where's the rubber?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, tires is a big thing, right?
Yeah.
Batteries a big thing. We've had to do a whole, and that's a whole nother lesson. That's a whole nother talk about battery maintenance and battery safety and right, learning how to deal with that stuff properly so we don't go doing something stupid, which is awesome for the kids that are already in the hobby and are, I don't like to use the term all that much, but quote unquote bashers running around at home to learn that, hey, whoa, hang on, right? Maybe I don't need to run this battery for 20 minutes until the truck won't move, right?
Right. Yeah, there's a limit.
Right, and all that sort of stuff, right? Oh, this is why the fourth battery's puffed up and almost exploded on me. So, right, they're learning that stuff and taking that stuff home. They're still playing at home, running around doing whatever crazy stuff that we do with RC cars, right? Yeah. But knowing a little bit more about what they're working with is fantastic. They bring those cars into school. We fix them on club nights sometimes. We're making drive shafts for splashes, or we're fixing ESCs and resoldering. Soldering is another whole different skill set, right?
Yeah.
Once they learn how to do it, they're fixing their own stuff, and it's fantastic.
It is for sure. And honestly, soldering is such a huge skill that you can use for so many things. Right? Everywhere. Yeah. Oh man, car audio, you can use it for freaking electronics, you can use it for RC, the list goes on and on. I love people that are capable of helping themselves. And once you teach them that skill set, that's something they have for life. And that's a huge game changer right there. And honestly, seeing how those kids leveled up, you can see some of them with the body off that really did a phenomenal job at wiring. And then others, you can tell that okay, maybe it was their first kick at the can or whatnot, but at least they got it going. And that's just part of the fun and learning. Because then now that they saw, oh, wow, look at how neat they did theirs. Maybe I'll go back. I'm going to redo it now and see if I can get
see, it. That's something I'd love to throw in there sometime is have a pro day where somebody that knows what they're doing other than just me comes and helps. Not so much about a race day, but comes and helps a setup day. Just take a day and learn some stuff. Right?
Setup huge.
Right, huge. For sure. Do some shock build, do some whatever, right? Because all that stuff is crazy important to how that car works too, right?
Yeah, and some of the kids were even talking about changing the fluids, which I'm sure you bestowed on them. Thicker, a little bit slower action, thinner, a little bit more reactive. And all those things they're learning, and that's fluid dynamics and stuff like that. They don't even realize the level of complexity that they're learning through the fun of RC. And they're talking about it. And it's I'm geeking out. And they're actually absorbing it and being so if we go to a 600 in the rear, it's going to slow down the way it moves. I'm like, oh my God, they're getting it. And that was just for the 2-wheel drive 10 scale. So I can imagine if they do bash at home or whatnot, now when they go home, they're okay, so instead of bottoming out, I'm going to go thicker now.
Right.
Whereas before, maybe they'll just bash it until it breaks and then fix it. But yeah, it's definitely cool to see that they're trying to do things in that manner. Now, you are a high school teacher in just the automotive, though, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And now you said that you do the Toronto car show and a local car show as well.
Sometimes if we can fit it into the schedule, right? It's been getting harder and harder to hit the Toronto one with transportation the way it is. It's always hard to find buses, right? And then you get one shot, the weather turns nasty and all of a sudden you can't go, right? So we do local whatevers. Where I am right now, it's still fairly industrial oriented, right? We've got a lot of factories up there. Prestran's big there, right? Stuff like that. So we'll do factory tours, right? We did Toyota Cambridge this year with the kids, which was good to see. Just different, right? Trying to get out to different shops. We've got two top tier stock car race shops in town, and we need to. Right? I've been trying to hook up and get out there for a field trip, right? Because that's stuff these guys don't even think about. I don't know. It's the same thing with RC. It's not. some of these kids that take some of the shop classes, auto classes, carpentry, whatever, aren't necessarily looking at going into it for a trade, but they love doing that kind of stuff, right? So this is where you can take that love for doing that sort of stuff and just go do something different with it, right? I joke all the time that it's the only racing I can afford to have 4 of, right? I put 4 cars in my garage and I'm okay with that, right?
Right. Yeah, it's way more cost effective. Now, you said that they had that shop, 2 shops close to you.
Yeah.
It would be something cool because I don't think they realize what the work is that goes into a full size setup like that.
Right.
You might have a little taste now with the RC thing and realizing how much the setup changes happen there. But who brought the tire change challenge? Because that was a cool thing too.
That's I believe that's Fanshaw's automotive department.
Okay, so I wasn't sure if it was high school or if it was.
No, that was Fanshaw's. They brought that out to the outdoor last year too. That's kind of cool, isn't it?
It was cool. Yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. Yeah, no, and the kids definitely made it fun for this old guy for sure.
Right.
Yeah, we kept going back and forth. I think Matt won in the end. I took a picture and a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
But man, for those of you who don't know,
time to make it out there and see it.
No, so they had a NASCAR tire on this mount, and they actually had the torque gun, and they had a stop and start light, and it was a countdown timer. So basically, as soon as you grab the drill, zing, 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 all 5 lugs, pull it off, put it back on, 5 lugs back on, and then put it back down on the timer, and it stops it.
Right.
These kids were doing it in like 12 seconds.
And they're sick. It's crazy.
And at the start of the day, it was like 23s. So they kept getting quicker and quicker and realizing just get it on there. At first they were being super soft with it but yeah, it was cool to see. And that was a neat experience to see. Also, some of the booths that were set up in there were pretty cool as well. And you said that Snap-on was there too?
Yeah, Snap-on's a big supporter of the whole SHSM thing, especially the transportation and manufacturing SHSM, right? They love it. It's sales 101, right? Catch them young and they'll never go anywhere else, right?
And let's face it, man, Snap-on is like the MIP of real toys.
Right?
That's like the tool of choice for all the enthusiasts. I like the MIP stuff for RC because hey, ever since I got the MIP stuff, I've stopped stripping screws.
Right,
so,
it's crazy, isn't it? And Snap-on loves open education. They give the kids that are in high school a pretty good deal. They give education facilities a pretty good deal, and they're always up to come help support whatever. They gave prizes. I don't know if you noticed. They gave prizes to the top 3, eh?
Yeah, okay, no, I did not know that.
Yeah, they donated a socket and screwdriver set to the top team. They gave a screwdriver and a pair of safety glasses to the second place team, and I forget what the third place guys got out of it. But right, and again, it's just totally their thing. They're just I had no idea until we were tallying up the points that they had that stuff around. So and
just here you go.
Yeah, so it's awesome. It just makes makes the event just that much more legit, right?
Yeah, and honestly, Derek, I feel that this is just the tip of the iceberg. I do feel that you're going to get a lot more support for 2025. And obviously, I'll be in contact with you. I'm going to see you at the Barnyard in 2 weeks.
For sure.
As well at the Brawl. Yeah, man, looking forward to that. And definitely looking forward to helping promote this as best I can. I'm going to share a whole bunch of other stuff now that we actually had the show. I appreciate you coming on and spending an hour with me, man. You've been phenomenal. Hopefully everybody will be able to see this, come back and play it. I'm going to send it to some of my sponsors. I'm going to try and get them on board. Heath already said he's going to be on board. I'm going to try and talk to Jen's Ace, try and get some power for you guys, because I know batteries are an expensive thing as well. So I'm going to reach out to all of my sponsors and see if we can do some stuff. I know LFR has a great leader there with Chris. I got a couple contacts, so I'm going to try and do my best for you, bud, and see what we can do. I know Martin is awesome, dude. He wants to help out if he can.
For sure.
He's been amazing locally, and man, I don't know if you've seen Kai's results from the spring fling, but that kid impressed me this weekend.
Right.
I knew he was getting fast, but holy cow, he's on a whole new level. And if he keeps going at this rate, I hope somebody can compete with Douglas Schufeld.
Right. But that's just it. Being able to talk to people about this stuff and kind of getting it out there this year has kind of been the focus. Just even since the event, I've had a couple of people reach out, sponsored folks, right? That have been able to kind of touch base with their reps and get some stuff going on, right? One up, stepped up. We got chassis protectors for everybody and a starting set of fluids for everybody, right? So I think it's Joe and Randy at One Up kind of stepped up there and made that happen, right? So we keep going like that, and the industry and the people in it start to take notice, and I think we're going to grow. We're going to do some good stuff.
I think you're already doing great stuff. And I definitely appreciate what you do for the kids. Because, like, let's face it, man, at the end of the day, you are going above and beyond as a teacher. And those are the type of teachers that I hope my kids get one day. And I can't wait to try and get it into our school, or not my daughter's school, and basically just try and get a little bit more interest locally, especially with the new track that's going to be built here and stuff like that. So we have ample opportunity to get in. Well, it's just in its infancy, because you're only going in like season number 4, right?
Yeah, hardcore season number 4. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Hardcore. Because I know you've been doing it for almost 10 years, but like now I feel like if we get more and more schools involved, I know you're doing your best to try and do it. And you got like the Thames Valley on lock. Like, you guys have great participation there. I just think we need to grow it a little bit more, get a few more industry insiders in, helping to support, and then just let it fly away, man. Because I think it's going to be good.
Right.
Yeah. But hey, dude, an hour's already passed. I'll let you take the mic for a bit. Yeah, it flew by, man. I appreciate you being on here, but just thank your sponsors. I know you got MRG. I know you got Fanshawe. You got Associated. You got I can't read the other one, the HPD.
HPD. Yep.
You got Snap-on on there or something, and then I don't know the one right beside that, in between Associated and all that, but
that'd be RC Garage, probably from that's Dennis Martin, RC Garage.
Nice.
They've been a huge help for parts and kits and stuff, right? MRG Racing, of course, is always there to support us for parts and kits and tire gluing, right? I mean, if you're going to glue tires, you got to talk to Monty.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, HPD is one of Associated's Canadian distributors. So they're main Canadian distributor. So they even went above and beyond and waived some shipping fees just to get kits down to me, right? So
thank you guys.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Fantastic,
No,
right?
You deserve all the support that you're getting, because like people don't realize, like, you've poured your heart and soul into this for 10 plus years, and not only that, the amount of kids' lives that you've changed for the better is unmeasurable. And I just got to say that I'm very appreciative of what you're doing as a teacher and as a human being, man. And you're just like next level. I got to say that you're doing a fan-freaking-tastic job, and I'm looking forward to hanging out, having a cold one with you and talking about it more, because this is one thing that I want to see grow. I want to see more kids getting involved, and even if a couple stick it out in the hobby, it's just better for everybody.
For sure it is. Yep. And if there's one thing I'll sit around and talk about all day, it's this. So,
right?
Okay.
Yeah, and like that, the hour flew by. Like, I'm already like, holy crap! Yeah, it's clicking down. So obviously, RC Showdown 2024. I'm going to share a couple more links. If you do want information, you can reach out to Derrick. You can reach out to myself. I actually have links to get hooked up with the SHSM people as well. So if you do need any of that information, feel free to reach out, because, man, you never know. It just takes one person to get that ball rolling, and the rest is going to be smooth sailing, and it's the kids that benefit. So keep that in mind. If we can help this grow, it just benefits everybody. Oh, yeah. Hey, you're right, Matt. It was an awesome thing that Derrick's been doing. He got the 50-50. You should sell tickets again at the Barnyard Brawl, and then just do a big one.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes, right? We did I ended up combining this week's barnyard race and last week's Otterville race.
Okay, so you have a new one at the Brawl then?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. So we drew tickets out of all the people in the world to win. Trevor won the 50-50. So that's pretty awesome. He started with me years ago, and now he's winning the 50-50. So
that's the kid that you were talking about too.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, eh?
Cool.
So yeah, it's always good when you have somebody that you've watched come up in the hobby and they stuck with it. So that is really, really cool. Looking forward to it. Well, we are up on the hour now. So I appreciate you hanging it out for the full show. And man, I'm going to share a couple links. I will do my best to keep the hype going. And like I said, I will reach out to all the people on my shirt and try and get you as much love and support as we possibly can. But until next couple of weeks, I will see you later, bud.
Appreciate the help, Adam. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, man, I appreciate it more than you even know. But, guys, next week we're back to the Cal RC show. And then in 2 weeks' time, we're going to have another show lined up. Ross Racing News, man. I think we're going to have some epic stuff to cover. Obviously, we're going to have the Barnyard Brawl, but there's going to be a special announcement that I have coming up. So you're going to have to stay tuned for that. Episode 73 already. Oh, my God. I never thought it would get this far, but, man, we're rocking and rolling. Until next time, keep the rubber side down. Bye for now.